This is Linked Out, and I'm Brit.
And I'm Sydney.
And if this week was the subject line of a rejection email, for me, it would probably be, I fucking give up.
Damn. And it's only Wednesday.
It's only Wednesday.
And tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. I stopped applying for jobs for last week. I kind of didn't do my regular 10 applications a day, and I got no emails.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
That's crazy.
So then today I woke up.
Your energy is unmatched because I haven't applied for jobs in, at this point, weeks. I don't think
weeks.
I haven't done it.
Well, you really
bummed me out on LinkedIn, and so I don't even use it now.
Well, since I took,
I mean that in the best possible way.
No, I mean, since I took the week off, I did wake up in the middle of the night last night and just got on my phone and started rapid fire applying to jobs.
That's crazy.
At 3:30 in the morning.
No way.
Yeah,
Brittany.
I was like, shit.
That's keeping you awake at night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then I went to bed
This is not good.
No, this is bad. I'm stressed out about it.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
That sucks.
It's not a big deal. It's just
waking up at 3:00 in the morning and applying to jobs is.
I know it's dark.
It's super dark.
It's really dark, you guys. But hey, we're keeping a positive attitude and
we're keeping it light,
keeping it breezy.
Are we?
We love it. We're still here. Welcome to Linked Out. Welcome to Linked Out, the podcast that won't help you get a job, but will make you feel better about not having one.
You did tell me earlier today that you had 2 interviews today.
I did, but
anything to say about that?
No, I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't.
You couldn't get it up.
I just couldn't. I was just like, yeah, great. That's awesome. One of them was a recruiter, but a recruiter from the place. So it wasn't a third party recruiter. It was just hiring manager recruiter.
Corporate.
Yes. And so I was just like, you're not going to call me back. I was seriously I feel like I walked out on a date basically. I kind of took an audible. I was like, great. So, we talked about I gave him a little taste of, I lied. I gave him my first set of lies for this specific interview. They're in LA. So I told him I live in LA.
You do have an address.
I do have an address
technically.
There. Yeah. You tell them what they want to hear.
Not true.
They're like, would you commute to Van Nuys twice a week? I said, absolutely.
You're just wanting to, there's nothing you would say no to at this point.
No, I'm
not
just
really.
They're like, show me your boobs. I'm like, here they are.
You're like, I don't normally do bottom down nudity, but I would do it for
They're like, are you willing to come into the office pantsless 1 day a week? Sure.
For sure. That's actually, and when I do my best work.
I do my best work. It's sometimes it motivates me. The colder I am, the faster I work. But yeah. And then they were like, okay, cool. So we'll talk to the creative team and let you know. And I was like, yeah, okay. Have a nice week. Bye. And it's I kind of didn't elaborate on things as much as I normally would because I just know they're not going to.
But maybe you're trying a new approach where it's you're kind of leaving them wanting more. Could be.
Sure. Yeah.
She's got a little bit of a, you called me, I'm not going to call you.
Right.
Type of vibe.
They asked me if I had any questions. I said no. Normally I would be like, how do you guys...
Yeah.
What's your day to day? Or
what defines success in this role or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually,
yeah.
I haven't tried that one.
Well,
but
I hate that question.
But yeah, it's
I guess.
Do you have any questions for us? Yeah, what's the day to day? Or I like to ask stuff usually, do you guys have a project manager or do you use project managing software? Or I've done it all. Like I've had account people be the project managers. I've had us be our own project managers, and we've used account managing software. How do you guys do it?
So you just like use it as an opportunity to flex a little bit, which is smart.
Yeah, just do I've done it all.
Just
so
to be like, but I know how to do everything.
Right. And then it's like, oh, you have a project manager? That's great. I love project managers. It's so great. I love it.
I love a project manager. We desperately need a project manager because between the two of us,
we're creatives.
Yeah. There's no telling when things are going to really, when the ball's going to really start getting rolling, but we are recording at least.
We need a coach.
I'm proud of us for that.
We haven't checked in with each other. She opened the door when I got here, and we didn't say anything to each other till we turned the mics on.
Yeah. We're trying a new thing where I don't talk to you unless we're recording.
No, we don't even talk. We didn't even talk. I was like, stop texting me. We'll have nothing to say.
No, because what I do want to talk about, and it's not related, but I have to ask you about it because I'm just genuinely curious.
Yes.
And it's so funny to me.
Here we go.
But today you took your daughter to story time, and you happened to just become mom friends with, I want to say she's an A-list celebrity.
No, she's
yes, I
who?
think so. No. Brittany, I would consider her A-list.
I don't think
she's on the fucking A-list. Okay, she's maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
she
is.
C.
She's a big. That I guess it depends. It's subjective, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. Okay, if I'm B at the lowest,
okay,
she's definitely
she's
not C-list. She's very famous, and Brittany had no idea who she was until after you Googled her, and then you were like, "Oh, that's why this person was so good looking." But I want to know.
Her husband was like,
oh right, her
very
husband,
tall, and I was
who's
like,
also famous, but less so.
But he does not. I was trying to figure out.
I feel like he's famous by proxy,
right? Well, he was on
the show.
I read. Well, he doesn't have a Wikipedia page,
therefore he's obviously the less famous.
But So, her name is.
Oh, you're gonna just say who it is.
Oh,
That's
wait,
fine.
should I?
It doesn't matter. Well, what if she
bleep it?
Yeah. I want to maintain her anonymity because I want you to be friends with her, and also I want me to be friends with her too. Selfishly, this is really.
I don't know if they live here.
Well,
but so I see this.
That's true.
So, this actress was wearing a full Elmo costume, because it was story time at the local Atlanta library, and which mostly this story time has like nannies take the kids to this story time, and I feel like
because it's like in the middle of the day on a Wednesday.
It is, it's at 10:30.
Or I guess the morning, in the middle of the morning.
Yeah. So, most people have jobs, but I saw. So this actress was wearing a full Elmo costume, and she had glasses on, and I just was like, that chick kind of looks familiar, but like I didn't really think about it, and my kid started playing with her kid. It was like bubble time, and they were like
vibing,
chasing each other around. And then we kind of had a little banter. And then she was like, and then I see, she was like, we're going to go to the park down the street if you guys want to come. And I was like, yeah, like I'm always trying to make mom friends. And so we went to the park and we were chatting. And then when her husband came, her husband was at story time. But when he walked into the room, I was like, this guy has to be like, he's not a normal. He is like he was 6'2". He's like really
extremely
tall,
handsome.
Extremely. I was like, this guy's got to be.
Yeah, you can just tell he had like a sheen.
He had a sheen. But they were both at story time, which was really cool.
Would imagine that she probably found it very refreshing that you genuinely had no idea who she was.
I did not know. I don't know how I would know who she. Well, I did. I kind of was like, this person looks familiar, and then she told me her name was. I just said it again, but
she told you her name.
She told me her name, dude. This is gonna be like. She told me her name, and I just kind of like. I don't know. When I got to my car, I was like, she looks so familiar.
How did you figure out her last name?
I just started like Googling because I was like, she kind of looks like. There was this movie that I watched on Netflix like a while ago. It was a rom-com. It was like one of those like like
that one. There was something
single
that she
ladies
was in.
rom-coms.
Oh yeah, I know which movie. I didn't see that one, but there was one she was in prior to that was like, it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was shot here. I could tell that it was shot in Atlanta because it was very like recognizable. So she might just like do
maybe
a good bit of.
Well, I couldn't find any.
Here. I didn't
know because I was trying to see if they lived here, and then so I got in the car.
But
and
it's a surprising
Googling.
neighborhood that would be like.
Yeah,
because I don't know. It's just a surprising neighborhood. It's not like there's places that are like known to be like where celebrities that live here live, or at least have houses, and that's not like
one of them.
No. So
there are some nice houses over there.
No, there's definitely. It's not like it's not a nice neighborhood. It's just like it's surprising because it's like I feel like that neighborhood is more of like a local neighborhood,
right? Maybe it's just the story time is really good. It's a really good story time.
I know. I've heard this story time is. I've heard like really good things about this story time.
It's really cool. Like
you're not the first person.
Last week there was like this weird guy doing puppets. Then the week before that it was like Apple Day, and they had like some lady from the farmers market.
They go all out. They like dress up and stuff too.
Dress up, yeah. Like they, this lady like brought organic apples from her booth at the farmer's market and made everybody applesauce. Nice. It was really cool.
Wow.
But yeah, so
and it's free because it's at the library.
And it's free.
How great is that?
And that's the thing. And that's a thing that I do every Wednesday.
I love that.
and it really is the highlight of my week.
I'll start coming with you.
You should come.
With my baby. Yeah. You know why I want to come now. Yeah, it's very, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. Obviously, I never had any interest in coming before.
You're now who's slutty?
I know. I'm just angling to meet this person because I really liked the show that she was on. I got really into it, and my husband did too. And
really?
Yeah,
we watched that show.
I don't know if you would like it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's definitely like very wholesome. So I don't know. I'll just put that out there. I don't know if that's your vibe, but I kind of know it's not. But I really liked it at the time, and it was like. There was like so many episodes of it out, so I could just like keep watching it. And this was before kids, so like I had
then
way
you could
more
just
time.
binge watch. Oh, I miss binge watching shows.
Yeah, I would binge watch. Yeah,
I do it at night sometimes, and it's just not the same because I'm like I have to go to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
it's not.
It's also really hard to to not look at phone.
To not look at phone.
It's really hard.
Because I have phone.
It's really hard to watch show, even though I want to watch show. I can't stop looking at phone.
Are you constantly checking your email? Is that what you're like checking the most?
No, I mean I do. It's like one of the reflex. Like I look at my email, but then I like open TikTok. I'll like open Twitter. So that's something that wouldn't have happened if I had a job. I wouldn't have been able to go to Storytime and meet this like cool, fun celebrity. But yes, that is a nice thing about being unemployed is that I get to take my daughter to Storytime.
Nice thing.
And it's so I try to remind myself that all the time, but there's only so much reminding you can do. But when I'm at Storytime, I'm like, this is really nice. And I have so much fun there. And I love just like watching my daughter like, you know, learn new things and like try to socialize and like chase bubbles and
so
shit.
Sweet.
It's very sweet. And I do love that. But also when I get a job, I think I will just ask them for Wednesdays at 10:15 to 11:45 so that I can like it's like very close to my house so I can just still go to Storytime.
Just block your calendar every Wednesday at that
because like I don't want to like give up Storytime with my daughter in her formative years just because I have a shitty ass job that I want to get so badly. But it's like it's not important. It's not what is important. It just is because of capitalism because I need money to support my family.
Yeah. So. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks that that's why it's important.
Yeah, and like I was really like, you know that thing like about how they say that they know when you go into the office, you really only get 3 hours of work done. It's just like for society, it's like in their best interest to like keep you tired so that you spend more money on conveniences, so that like they want you to go to the office like 5 days a week and work 9 hours, 10 hours a day, because then you support the economy more by spending more money on things, because you don't like going out to dinner or like getting things delivered to your house, because you don't have time to like make things or like do things for yourself because you're too fucking tired.
Yeah.
So that's why they want people going into the office, and it's like very fucked up because
can I tell you something?
Everyone could do their job in 2 hours in a day.
I know. Listen, first of all, we all know that. So like, it's just insane that anybody expects, I mean, that there's any expectation to work more than that is truly insane. Like but anyway, what I was going to say related to what you were just saying, I was reading this book right now that's about like, basically like, it's about a lot of things, but it's a lot about
a lot of things.
Well, it is about a lot of things, but it's mainly about our like food system, and it's talking about processed food, highly processed food, or now they call it ultra processed food, and it didn't exist until very, very, very recently, like within the past 50 years or so. Basically, it became a thing because food for war, basically, like World War II or like the Korean War or something like that, but it was like processed food. It was shelf stable, right? So like they could make, and then once the war was over and like basically around the women's lib, like women going to work rather than like staying home, they were like, oh, well, it's like you don't have to have breakfast. You can just eat this bar like in a package or whatever. So processed food really like took off from that, because it was like, don't stay home and like cook. You can just eat your food in this little wrapper, like, and take it with you. Like it's, you know, it's for you to be able to work and whatever. So it's interesting because what you're saying is kind of related to that, because it's like, I mean, that this isn't me like, but by no means is this me being like, we should go back to the kitchen. But that's not what I'm saying at all. But it is interesting because it's come at the expense, like all of the processed food has come at a huge expense of our health.
Well, and
like diabetes is like through the roof, and like kids are diabetic now when they used to never be, and like all these things. So this book is really interesting, by the way.
But like, you know, like fast food places take like, they remove like a lot of like of fiber from food, so that you're like so you're still hungry after you eat like a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So it's like if you go to McDonald's, like
but it's also like not good quality meat either. Like
no, it's bad. It's like,
you know, it's like the worst. Yeah, it's not like organic, regenerative, whatever. It's like it has none of the things in it.
No, but it gives your brain like this serotonin rush for like a second, and then you like feel bad, but you're still hungry.
Yeah,
and then that's what keeps you like addicted to like the bad food, and you're still not full, and you're hungry like 20 minutes later.
Yeah,
it's gross.
I know, it is super gross.
But anyway, but we're not here to talk about food.
We're not here to talk about food, but
honestly, that makes me sound like a huge bitch talking about how much I hate fast food. So I'm not.
It doesn't make you sound like a huge bitch. I don't think anybody like loves fast food. No,
people love it.
No, but like,
I think people love it.
I think they wouldn't choose it if they could like. So it's a convenience thing, like you just said, and like it's the cost of it is very much a thing. No, that lures people in too.
Like it. Like McDonald's,
but they would rather have
like
if
treat.
Okay, but if you put them like a homemade like grilled burger or something like on the grill and like a fucking McDouble or whatever, I think most people would probably still want the like real one, right? You know what I mean?
Maybe
that's what I'm trying to say, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Again, this is not about food, but we're just on a tangent.
But you know, when you're unemployed, you have plenty of time to think about this shit.
I be thinking about all kinds of stuff.
Because we're not so tired from fucking working all the time.
No, I'm like,
our creative energy.
Myself too. I'm like, I get it. I'm gonna start my own garden in my backyard. Watch out! Like, I'm really taking this trad wife thing to a whole new level.
I had a garden in LA. and it was thriving. It was really good.
That's great.
It thrived over the pandemic because I was like home all the time watering it and like looking after it. And then after that I was doing pretty good with it, and then I got pregnant and then everything died. But it was nice because
you're not really supposed to garden when you're pregnant. You're not. I'm serious. Oh, you're laughing. I'm serious. I didn't
know that.
Yeah, it's like something.
I just stopped doing it.
Well, it's a good thing you did.
My instincts kicked in.
Yeah.
They were like, you don't want to do this shit.
It's something to do with like digging in the dirt and like being bent over or something. I don't know. It's like one of the things you're not supposed to do when you're pregnant.
I didn't even know. That's crazy.
Yeah. So don't beat yourself up.
But like I remember when I was working like when I would go out of town and stuff for work, like Clark, my partner, would be like, oh my gosh, like when you were gone, because I always buy groceries. He never he doesn't.
They just magically appear.
They just magically appear. But he was like, when you were gone, all I did was just eat out of the garden. Like, and then I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
He was like, you're living off the land.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't feel like going to the store, so I just like grilled one of the peppers that was back there, and then like,
oh my God, that's so
sliced
funny.
up a tomato with olive oil. I was like, that's so funny.
Wow, that's incredible.
Good job.
That's a good enough reason right there to plant a garden so that your incompetent partner can feed themselves while you're out of town. I'm sorry, I don't even know him. I'm not calling him incompetent. I'm saying in general.
Just more lazy. He's like, I don't want to go to the store, but like there's zucchini like right in the backyard.
I'm thinking of my dad. Like when my stepmom goes out of town, if she doesn't leave him like basically like depending on how long she's out of town, but if she doesn't leave him like a casserole or two, he just will only eat peanut butter and saltines. And he's been this way my whole life.
Oh my God.
I've never known him ever to go to independently as a man by himself to the grocery store and buy groceries. I'm not saying he's never done it, but I've never known him to do it. And I don't think it's just not in his comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think he would just rather eat random, like I said, peanut butter and saltines or whatever he can find in the pantry.
Hey, I love
to survive
peanut butter and saltines
until she
delicious.
Gets back.
I could eat that for a couple meals.
Yeah.
But
crazy. Anyway, that's who I'm thinking of when I'm like, oh, a garden would be good, because then he could like go forage for produce, you know? He wouldn't have to go anywhere.
Go to the store.
He's not gonna go to the store.
Well, I get it. Like my partner used to have really bad, like grocery store anxiety. Because
is that a thing?
I mean that
is that a thing that he told you?
No, I just know because every time we would go to the store, he'd get like all stressed out, and I'd be like,
"Did something happen to him at a grocery store?"
I don't know.
Okay, we need to unpack that though.
But
that's not a regular phobia.
There's just it's overwhelming, and I never know where anything is, and I don't know what to buy.
You have to go there to know where stuff is.
And he's like, and I never make a list, and I just like go in there, and I'm just like,
these are all things that he could plan.
No, I know,
for.
But he was just bad at it.
All solvable.
But now he go because I mean we have a baby now. It's not like we don't have to. You don't have to go to the grocery store if you don't have a baby.
How do you not have to go to the grocery store if you don't have a baby?
Because like I wouldn't go sometimes. Like if you don't have any food, you just like go somewhere and
go
get
to a restaurant.
Food. Yeah,
okay. I get what
it's
you're
not
saying.
like.
But he didn't eat all of his meals at a restaurant.
No, but he would work out of the house, so he would like eat lunch out of the house, and you know, like I would always cook, but now he's like pretty good at going to the grocery store, but it's just funny because like he was just like I don't know, it was so he just would freak out in the grocery store, and I'd be like, okay, dude.
My only thing I can sort of relate to on that, it's not the same, but I freak out sometimes when I have to. I really try not to, but I do freak out sometimes when I have to drive on the highway. Like I've driven on the highway so many times in my life. Like Atlanta is a very highway centric. It's a very big highways everywhere. It's like you have to. And I grew up here and I had to drive on highways all the time. But for whatever reason now, it like sends me into fight or flight mode on the highway. I get like I don't know. I just get really anxious. So I can relate in that sense. But
yeah, I mean, the highway is kind of scary.
It is kind of scary.
Like, kind of.
But it's more scary than the grocery store.
But that's something you can fix, Sydney.
How could I fix that?
You just like immersion therapy.
I've immersed myself as much as one person can on the highway. I don't like highways, and I also think I'm going to go back on this one a little bit. They're not natural.
You got to go back on there.
They're not natural. Highways are not natural.
But
they go against human nature.
No, I mean, I understand why it would be stressful because I don't know. I feel like when I first started driving, it was very scary, but I guess I don't have that problem anymore. But when you first start driving, it is really scary.
It's the opposite for me. I've gotten more.
You've gotten worse. Yeah. You've gotten worse.
I used to not care.
As the years go on.
As the years go on, I get more and more.
Well,
anxious.
Hopefully you don't have to get that job that's
far
far away because then you have to do it twice.
Oh my God. So when I drove to that,
did they call you, by the way?
So I think we talked about maybe this last time, but he's
on vacation.
He was out of town. He just got back and we emailed yesterday, and I'm hoping to have some sort of update, at least like,
oh my gosh,
how many hours is it going to be? You know, that kind of thing. Cause this is going to be like project kind of based.
Right.
So I'm just curious if they're going to, if it's going to be scope, 20 hours, 40 hours, something in between, like how is it going to be by the month? Because I just don't really know how it's going to be broken down. And so I was just curious about that so that I can at least kind of guesstimate how much money I'm going to be making before Christmas. So that I can buy my fucking kids Christmas presents. How sad.
Oh my
gosh. No, but yeah, so that is going to happen, and we'll see if that requires me to get on the highway.
I mean, it will. You got to go.
No, but I drove on the surface streets to get there.
Oh, that's good.
And it did take a really long time.
How much time would you shave off if you just took the highway?
I mean, probably not even that much, honestly. Because
so just take the cross streets. Listen to a good podcast. Listen to this podcast. Listen to our podcast in your car.
I'll listen to my own podcast in the car. Think about how great I am. Like
you can listen to Linked Out on your way to your new job. Oh no.
Here's hoping. We still don't have the job, so let's
not count our chickens.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't count the chickens.
This week, though, I saw two things that I wanted to. Well, I probably could have found more, but to be honest, I didn't spend a ton of time preparing this week, so I prepared a little bit. But
you have to fake it.
I know.
You have to pretend.
Well, I prepared a little bit, so I did more than you did. Well, I should say.
I was preparing with my rejection emails and my job interviews.
Yeah, you were. That's true. You were having real life experience.
I don't have any
real life experience.
I know. I've been looking for a job for like a year, and for however old my daughter is plus 18 months. I've been looking for a job for 18 months. And this chick just starts looking for a job 8 days ago and already has one.
Who?
You.
Me? Yeah. No. First of all, we just said I don't have a job.
I know.
And
I just have a feeling you're going to get it, though.
It's been more than 8 days. I wish it had only been 8 days.
I was taking some creative liberty.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
leave it to me
to spice up the story.
Leave it to me to be really literal.
You're like, actually, it was exactly 13 days ago, and it has been horrible waiting for this email. That I just got from the guy.
I don't think this guy is gonna screw me over, so I'm optimistic about that because we know each other. We have a personal relationship already, and like we've said all along, that's
the only way to get a job.
It is the only way to get a job.
Yes,
you have to have a relationship with somebody who is in the power to give you a job, and if you don't have a relationship with that person, they'll go with the person they do have a relationship with.
Yeah,
and
he's a creative director, so like, it's the people that I've gotten or that I've like kind of gotten interviews from were not creative directors, but it was like people that were like, oh, we're hiring, like, let me give your shit to the hiring manager. I'm like, okay. And then sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they go on
No,
6
I'm saying
interviews.
it can't go through any other layers. It has to be you.
It has to be you.
And the person who's
and the person
making the decision.
Yes.
You have to have that close of a relationship at this point. And I believe that because
oh my God.
To segue into fucking my favorite Reddit thread, recruiting hell.
Recruiting hell. We love it there.
Now Reddit knows.
We're in it.
Now, yeah, we're in it. And also now I can't wait to promote our podcast on recruiting hell, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
But also,
that's so smart marketing.
Thank you.
That's so great. I love that.
But what I was going to say is what was I going to say?
You can drive into the highway in my heart. You can take the cross streets to my heart. Never mind. I was trying to tag you being afraid of highways and it just didn't work. Moving on.
Okay. So this one I saw today was interesting. And also I know you have something to say about this topic. So basically so I saw this post today about this person getting lowballed sort of after they were discussing their salary needs with the recruiter. The recruiter told this person the range for the job was 100 to 165, which is a huge range.
Huge range.
Like a huge range.
That's insane.
And this person said that they wanted 150. And they also told the recruiter at that time like that they weren't really looking for a job, but that they would be interested if it was at that salary, aka, make it worth my time, basically.
Yeah.
And the recruiter was like, cool. I think that's possible, even though it's on the upper end of the range, but it's still like well within it. And anyway, so this person interviewed, whatever. He said it went super fast. He assumed that they weren't really talking to anybody else because it just went super fast. And then they made him an offer at 104, even after he told them.
What a weird number.
Such a weird number.
Actually, I've gotten weird numbers like that before too. For offer letters. 97 was one of them. I was like,
I've gotten,
can you just say 100 or 95?
Right. Can we just fucking round it?
Yeah,
up,
that's
please?
insane.
Right?
But
anyways, what made this interesting to me and why I wanted to bring it up is because there was somebody who commented on it basically after the fact, because they were like, can't believe they lowballed me, after I told them blah, blah, blah and all stuff. Someone was like, well, you told the recruiter basically that you weren't looking for a job and therefore they know you don't have any other offers to leverage.
But
so basically the moral of the story is recruiters are not your friends.
Yes.
Don't ever tell them more than they need to know. If they reach out to you, you welcome whatever they're offering, but don't tell them any details about your current situation in the interest of being friendly or anything like that.
But I don't understand that
because it could prevent you from having leverage down the line. This is what this person was saying.
Yes,
and I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
What do you not understand?
Oh, so, I'm just saying I don't understand why if they weren't looking for a job that would factor in, because wouldn't they want to offer you the 150 that you wanted to lure you away from your current job?
Well, yeah, but
because you're not gonna leave a job for under what you're making at it.
Well, right? I assume that. Okay, so that's an interesting point, and maybe I should go back and look at it. But when this person said they weren't looking for a job, I more assumed it meant that they were not employed, but free, maybe they're freelancing, they work for themselves is kind of what I was how I took it, versus they already have a job somewhere else. I was taking it as I'm doing fine on my own. I think I put that lens on everything because that's kind of both how me and my husband work. He takes jobs when they come to him and stuff. So it's but he works for himself. So I kind of got the impression that this person was like that too. They take jobs, they do jobs on their own so they can kind of name their price, but that they don't work for one company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But any case, the thing that was more interesting to me was that whole thing about don't get too friendly with recruiters and try to tell them what your situation is. And that really hit me because I've done that so many times. I have been like straight off the bat with recruiters just being like, yeah, like I'm just, especially recently.
Yeah.
Telling them like what, like this is my situation.
Oh my gosh.
Very
like,
too honest. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm just getting back into looking for a job.
I would never tell them that.
Recently. You know, I've been freelancing, but I'm interested in potentially going full time at the right type of place, but blah, blah, blah. Like really like so much detail that I'm giving up all my cards or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
because you think the recruiter
showing them my hand too much
is on your side about it.
Yeah.
Because they're not.
And they're not.
Sometimes they don't work for the company. When they're like third party, but they're not ever on your side.
Yeah.
I would never even tell them I had a kid. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's also because I am scared to tell anybody that I have a baby, because I think that factors into getting hired sometimes. But also I still don't have a job, so it doesn't matter. But I still haven't.
Maybe you need to start leading with I have a baby.
I have a baby. Oh my God, absolutely not.
You need to try spice it up. You never know.
Spice it up. Hey, I have a baby.
When I was pregnant the first time, I had so much anxiety about giving birth, but I would look around every time I was out in public. Every single person I ever saw or met or talked to had been born. And so I was like, well, all these people have been born. Like I will give birth to another person. Like it's just every single person you've ever met has been born. So
and they're
I don't
fine.
know.
Yeah, people. That's what I was thinking too. I was like,
shape, or form.
Millions of people are born every day. Like everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
true.
It doesn't, I don't know. It's just weird that like, yeah, I hate that there's any type of like, you took time off to like, what?
Yeah. Like, do you know what women's bodies go through when they fucking give birth? Yes, I took time off to have a baby, and like,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't take time off, but
right. Well, then that's
but that's different. But
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
You do need to take time off to have a baby, because you're not going to be, your brain's fucked up after that. You can't even.
Yeah.
I was like, am I dumb now?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Am I like, I don't know.
Yeah. It takes a long time to feel even like remotely normal. And yeah, I just think too, like my job, the first time I was pregnant, I don't want to go off too much in a tangent, but they give you like whatever FMLA is like 12 weeks or something, right? Mm-hmm. So family leave is like 12 weeks, and the company gives you like
75% salary.
Well, the company that I worked for at the time, I think, depending on how you have the baby, which by the way, I think is crazy.
Wait, what?
It depends on how you have the baby.
And you have to disclose that information to them?
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucked up.
I know.
So if you have a C-section, you get longer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know.
What?
Yeah. So I think you get like 6 weeks if you don't, and then 8 weeks if you do.
What?
I know.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. I know. It was all like a roller coaster to me, because it was just something I never. Why would I have thought about it before it actually happened to me? Like, maybe some people are more aware of like what other people are going through, but I had no idea, and I was just like, when it happened, I was like, what the fuck? But I was also like, puppies get like, you're not supposed to take a puppy away from the mother for like 8 weeks.
Right.
So like dogs get longer. Yeah, you're not supposed to. It's like, it's bad for them. And it's like, it's gotta be even more severe for humans. Like they're so undeveloped when they're babies or like newborn
just
babies.
Like a little mush.
Yeah. Like
a little blob.
But anyway, okay. So circling back, anyway, this person,
that's crazy.
This advice though, someone offered some advice on here, which I thought was helpful. That was like, let them make an offer, then reject until you get what you want. You aren't desperate. So this is very much how you should do business.
Who says we're not
Always say
desperate?
The max number. This is called anchoring. Then any lower number will feel like a win to them. So basically it's like kind of, you have to bluff a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, but why would you say
the max though?
Yeah, if they say 65 to 100 and you say
100 to
75, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, like,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like if you don't say the max number of their range, like
who is doing that?
Yeah, who's doing that? Who is doing that? Like that's great. Oh, depending on experience.
I'll just take the lowest. Whatever is the lowest you can offer, I'll take that.
Yeah, like no that's insane.
You're right. I'm like, that's good advice, but it's like it's also really obvious.
It's really like if you.
I really needed you to help me.
My problem is when they don't give you a number.
Yeah,
and then
that's most of the time is though.
Yeah, like they don't disclose, which is so stupid. And then they go, "What are you looking for?" And then I'll like now
that's
I'll be like,
too.
I'm flexible. But
what do
I
you
want
got?
this.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, that's too high." Like I've gotten people that just like I've gotten somebody that just ended the interview because my number was too high. And I was like, "Well, maybe we can like meet in the middle." And they were like, "Well, we're kind of," and it was only
stupid.
Yeah, it was only like 15K. Like my number was 15K, like
that's nothing
over their maximum. And they were like, "Well, we're looking for someone more around here." And I'm like, "I can do that. Like that's fine.
Let's negotiate.
Yeah, let's negotiate." And I hate when they like make you they go, how it's like, okay, if you're trying to offer me a $50 an hour job, just say it, and then I'll tell you if I want to do it or not.
Yeah, don't like. Yeah, it's so weird.
If you're trying to offer me a $30 an hour job,
gonna guess.
Just say it. Like, it's just like, just tell me. I'm not. If I and
Mr.
I tell you,
Dog Poop at least was honest.
Mr. Dog Poop,
$15 an hour.
I actually looked up Mr. Dog Poop when I got home too, because I was looking it up while we were on.
You were genuinely. You were wondering if they were still hiring.
And then when I opened my TikTok, it was still up. It was still on there, and I was like, "Oh my God, why is this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Dog Poop." And then my partner and I were looking at it, we're like, "This is really bad." This is like bad. This guy doesn't even have enough of a following for them to like, for this to be like experience. Like this guy's got like 10K, like 20K followers, and their video quality is really bad. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you
That's
using?
why they were looking for
what is this intern doing?
Producer.
They're
looking for a producer.
If I went to go try to produce something after working for Mr. Dog Poop, they would be like, "Who?" And they would look at that and be like, "This is bad. You're not hired."
One other thing I saw on my favorite Reddit thread, or is that what it's called? Subreddit. Is on my favorite subreddit. I saw that someone had posted some like funny meme about fake jobs, and
oh yes,
I sent it to you, but the comments on it were more interesting, which was someone wrote like, "I started reporting jobs that have been like reposted with over 100 applicants because they are scams." And then someone was like, "LinkedIn is complicit in it. They get paid. I used to report them, but they never take any action." And then the end of this is someone saying, "I'm on the other side of things, on the hiring side, and you wouldn't believe the amount of trash applications that come our way that don't even remotely fulfill the advertised job. And so we have to pause it after 100 applicants in 48 hours. But then it gets reposted because we've talked to the best applicants already. Others ghosted us and they were not suited for the job. LinkedIn fucking sucks." So,
dude, that's crazy because like,
but if you're like number 105, too bad, because they're not gonna.
Yeah, well, they're
not gonna see it.
They're not gonna see it.
They're just not gonna see it, and which that is almost certainly what's happened to you in the amount of jobs that you've applied to. No one's even seeing. No one's seeing application.
I wonder
because there's no way that you wouldn't like. It's just not being seen, and that's what this is saying. Like, that's what I think. LinkedIn fucking sucks. What I'm taking away from that is like they don't see the applications. It just gets filled with trash, and then they like turn it off, and then they turn it back on, and that's if the job is even real in the fucking first place.
If it's real. And I think also people are applying for, because I'm getting like, I get sometimes like jobs in my inbox like that I'm not suited for, and I think I think people are getting jobs that they're not suited for, just like suggested jobs or whatever. And then, but they're just like not looking and they're just doing it on easy apply. And so, cause like LinkedIn has that thing on some jobs where you can just like easy apply.
Yeah.
Where you can just like click a button and they send the resume. And I think that,
oh my God, this just reminded
people are just doing that.
This just reminded me of something. So, okay. So I've never told you this story. So just thinking about being on the other side of things. I remember at a job that I had a few years ago, big like corporate job we were looking for at the team. The team was growing, the creative team was growing, and we needed to hire another like writer for the team. And I was really close with my boss, aka who would be the hiring manager. So we sat next to each other too. So he would like show me these applications as they came. And of course, this was a big company, so they filtered like a lot of it through HR. But because that's how it was done. It wasn't like he wasn't in charge of the post or whatever like that. But they still sometimes would send ones that were like, are you kidding me? So I remember this is for a job, a copywriting job.
Oh God.
A creative, and like working at like a creative agency within a company.
Right.
And someone who applied for it, they were a doctor. They were a doctor.
No, they weren't.
Yes, I just remembered this, and it was so funny because me and my boss at the time were like, "Wait, what? Wait, is this real?" It was a fucking doctor.
A doctor.
And we were like, "Did they mean to apply to this? Was this like an accident? Like, how did this happen?"
That is funny.
Yeah. So that just makes me think of all of the things like that, of like people who are like fully not even like in the realm of like relevant experience of people that are applying for jobs. And that has to be like exhausting to sift through, excuse me, because
yeah. So that's why, so I'm wondering, why do companies continue to use LinkedIn if that's the way
question.
that
we need to hear from the companies.
We need to hear from the companies.
Why
because
are you using LinkedIn, and does it even work?
If
question mark.
And I'm looking
I feel like it doesn't.
I'm looking at like, I could tell you right now about like the most recent job. It's like, here's one. Syndicate Blue. Shit. I do it
Is
again.
that a company?
I don't really care. It's a copywriter. California, posted 3 hours ago, over 100 applicants already.
Fucking
so like,
bonkers.
Are you gonna go through
in 3 hours?
In 3 hours.
It hasn't even been up for a day.
It hasn't even been up for a day. Like, and I can do this all day. Like, it's like 1 hour. Some of them like 1 hour, 100 applicants. And it's like,
that doesn't make sense.
How are you doing that? Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense. That's also like, there's no, that makes me think of like, those things on eBay where you can like set it up to outbid someone if they.
Right. But how do you,
is there a way to do that on LinkedIn to like, as soon as a job gets posted, you set it up and you apply? Like, are people doing that like by the thousands? Like, is there some code, some cheat code? You know what I mean? Rosebud. Sims.
Yeah, is there
some cheat code for LinkedIn? Because there's got to be. It doesn't make sense otherwise. Make it make sense.
9 hours ago, over 100 applicants. So like, when do they stop? They say over 100 applicants. Like,
how many?
Over? Because they don't say like 500.
Yeah. That's only LinkedIn knows the back end of it.
This is like.
But probably not, actually. If you pay those like super elite, like $700 a month, the ones, you can probably find out everything you want to know. Maybe for research, we should get like one of those like $800 a month LinkedIn accounts. but we're not going to pay for it, obviously. Obviously, we're going to have to crowdsource it. We're definitely going to write it off, and we'll pay everybody back. I don't know. I haven't figured out how we're going to get the money, but I do think we should do some. I think we should get one of those $800 a month LinkedIn accounts.
I think so. I think we should. I want to see
just for 1 month.
Yeah, I want to see what.
I don't want it for longer than that. I really only want to look at it for like a day, to be honest. But Maybe someone could just give us their login. Does anyone out there have an $800 a month LinkedIn account? And can we just log in? I don't really only want to look at it for like an hour.
No one would ever give us that.
No, they wouldn't. I wouldn't trust us either.
We're like, can we see the inner workings of your
But I do want to see the inner workings.
I do too. Maybe we can like talk to someone about it. Maybe we can like interview someone.
Have you ever met anyone that works at LinkedIn?
No, I haven't.
But there's got to be people that do.
They're robots. They're not real people. No, I don't know.
It's all robots.
The conspiracy goes so deep.
Who started LinkedIn?
I don't know.
We need to write them an email.
They're not
strongly worded.
They're not going to get
email.
it. They've gotten over 100 applicants. They are not going to. The algorithm will
never see the email.
We'll never see it.
Not talking about a LinkedIn DM. I want their real email address. I want their true email address.
Here's another one. Senior copywriter, 6 hours, over 100 applicants. It's like there's literally.
You got to get more in front of the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep applying on LinkedIn. I think it's just.
You're addicted.
I'm addicted. I'm addicted to LinkedIn.
It's a bad habit. No, but the real reason is because they kind of have a monopoly on job posts. Like, where else do you go? I know there's Indeed or whatever.
No, those
they don't work.
They all suck. Even like,
there's not really anything else.
Even like the new recruiting, that one. I'm just gonna blast the name. Maybe I shouldn't. Of the recruiting company that was started by the creatives.
Is it big?
We were talking about it the other day. Should I say?
Does it start with a W?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But they're only like really in Atlanta. They're not really like.
Yeah, but like they're still bad.
Oh, I know.
So like,
I know.
If you're started by creatives, like you would think that.
No, they don't care.
They would be better at it.
You would think that, and I think it started that way, but it's gone downhill.
Should we start our own? Should we be recruiters? No.
Maybe.
I mean, we would.
What? Yeah.
I would tell people like why they didn't get the job, and I would call them back.
And I would every single time go for the very, very maximum amount that we could get.
Of course.
I would never be like, maybe you should come in and no, go ask for the most.
Ask for the most, because
Every
if they
time.
want you, they'll pay that. And if they don't, which like the market is really bad, so they can get someone to do it for under, I guess now.
So
but
we have to all band together.
We need to band together. Because like
this is
the college, I mean, that one that was like, you have to have your master's for like a $25 an hour job.
Oh my God.
I was like, are
you fucking kidding
Are
me?
people doing this?
I hope not.
Like, did they find somebody?
God, I hope not. That makes me so depressed just to even think about.
I'm like, I could lie. I could tell them I have my master's.
For sure, you could.
But I don't.
Definitely could.
I don't want that job.
Yeah.
But
you don't also still want to get paid $25 an hour. So
yeah,
doesn't matter.
But how would they know? You know, lie. You guys.
That's our most important piece of advice, which I still have not fully adhered to, but I will. I intend to start lying more.
You better start lying more.
I'm going to start lying more.
On your job interview. Well, you don't need to do any job interviews, so
maybe not
not right now.
But I think another thing that comes up a lot that people mention now, especially with these like applications happening so fast too, is that everybody's using AI to like optimize their resumes and write their cover letters and stuff for every job. So everyone's just plugging in the job description, plugging in their experience and being like, make my resume tailored to this job or whatever. So presumably I mean, this is like almost everyone is doing this. I don't know if you're doing it or not, but almost everyone
AI
is.
resume? No.
Yeah. And can you imagine how many of the same exact sounding like resumes people are getting now too? They must all sound exactly the same because they're all written by AI. So there's like, they use the same, they plug in the same keywords from the job description in the same way.
That's true.
To the experience.
Well, I think I mean,
your experience is still your experience, but there's only so many different ways to talk about what you do. Like, everybody's more or less the same. And then if they're plugging it all into AI and it's shooting out these resumes are basically identical too. So I imagine that makes it on the hiring side impossible to differentiate between people.
Well, I think people should use ChatGPT to write cover letters because like cover letters are stupid and I don't think people I don't know. I just don't think I don't want to be. I don't
need
think
to do
I
a
should
poll
be,
if people actually read cover letters.
I
just one for the ages. People, I
don't
cannot
think,
get a good read on if people
I shouldn't
do
be
or
writing
not.
cover letters for 10 jobs a day that aren't going to call me back, especially. You know, like that's insane. And also, like you shouldn't be having me spend like I could spend like how long would it take me to write a cover letter? Like an hour. Maybe.
You think it would take you that long?
30 minutes.
It's like 2 paragraphs.
I don't know.
What are you going to write? Also, every single one is the same. It's like, I would be perfect for this job because blah, blah, blah. And I would love the opportunity. And like, what else can you say? There's really nothing else.
I don't know.
Like, they want you to beg for the job. That's what the cover letter is for. They're like,
it's stupid.
Beg for the job.
If it's like.
But do it creatively.
Yeah, maybe that's why people aren't calling me back because if it's like if the section
maybe if it was
for
all
cover
jokes.
letter is not starred, like you don't have to do it, like I won't do it.
Same.
And then if you have to do it, then I'll just be like, I don't know, like I'll have ChatGPT like write me like a base, and then I'll just like go back and make it sound more human.
Yeah. Same.
But
I've done that too.
Yeah, and then sometimes I like
these are the bones of the
sometimes
letter.
I ask ChatGPT to make it funnier, and then they just like always make jokes about coffee. Did you notice that? Did you notice that they were like I was in
safe territory.
I was in a coffee fueled haze when I'm writing you the best goddamn coffee you ever had, and it's like, why do you think coffee? Why does ChatGPT think coffee is so funny?
Humans love coffee, though.
But first, coffee. It's like
humans love coffee, and ChatGPT knows. Yeah, it's like Garfield. Oh wait, no, not Garfield. Kathy.
Kathy's like chocolate.
Yeah,
coffee.
I can't do my job without coffee first. Yeah, that's funny.
And they're like, oh, like it's like
I like that you asked ChatGPT to be funnier.
Well, I'm
as
like,
if it's capable.
Well, because it's not. But sometimes I just want to see what they do.
Yeah.
So I'll just be like, but make it funnier, and then they'll just be like. Some joke about coffee, another joke about coffee, and then at the end they'll be like, and when I'm not drinking my coffee.
Wow.
It's like, oh my God. Like,
you need to specify, make it funnier, but don't mention coffee and see what it comes up with. It'll be like error.
No, they do it. They just always do like really bad, the same jokes. They're just like, well, when I'm not writing you the best copy you've ever heard, I can be found telling jokes on the corner of, I don't know.
What you have to do is give it like a persona. So you have to be like, write my cover letter in like the style of like Jerry Seinfeld.
Write my cover letter.
To be like, you have to give it something and then it'll do it. I swear it's funny.
ChatGPT, write my cover letter in Victorian sad boy.
It might understand that. It might understand that. I more meant like someone who it would like
I'm
recognize.
I'm gonna start writing my cover letters in Victorian sad boy.
All right, see what happens.
See what they say. I'm gonna attach these.
Write your cover letter as
so
if
cold.
Rosie O'Donnell wrote this cover letter. And then
some
see
like
what it
dated
says.
90s
reference. Ricky Lake. Why am I only thinking of daytime TV? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because you're unemployed.
And
it's the 90s.
And those were my formative years. Yeah. So that's funny.
This is funny. Do it in the style. But yeah, so I mean, I just can't. Sometimes like they ask you to do like assignments. Have they ever asked you to do that
in a
job interview, like when applying for jobs?
Oh, just in the application process, do an assignment?
Yeah,
no, I've never seen that.
And so I would always be like, I'm sorry, I don't work for free. Like,
yeah,
in my whole career. Like, I'm not doing a copy test. Actually, I did one once.
Oh, wait a second. That's not true. I have done this before, but it was in the course of interviewing. They were like, write, headlines about this for this whatever, like write like 10 headlines about this and then write. But that was in the course of interviewing. And then they like gave me feedback. I'm really glad I didn't get that job in retrospect. It was for like a cruise company.
They didn't like your headlines?
Serious. No, they like liked them or whatever, but they like, I think it was just like clear as we like talked for a really long time that like I wasn't super enthusiastic about potentially working there because the perks were like you get to go on a cruise and like you don't maybe know this about me, but there's nothing I want to do less than go on a cruise.
Oh, like, same. Really, I feel the same way.
It makes about me sick thinking about going on a cruise. Just being stuck on a boat, like I don't know, dude.
I don't even care. Like people have tried, like not inviting me on cruises, but like for some reason,
cruise culture.
People have tried to talk me into cruises, like in a way where they're not trying to get me to go on a cruise with them, but they just want me to like them.
They just want you to like the idea of
they cruises. Like the idea. They're like, no, it's so fun. Like you eat all of this yummy food, and there's like
the
pools,
food is fucking disgusting,
and it's like there's like
the pools are disgusting. Everything about it is disgusting.
There's water slides. You get to like go on a boat and like see. Here's the thing. I love a boat and I like nautical stuff and I like boat culture, but I don't want to be on a cruise ever.
Yeah.
I think
I don't ever want to be on a cruise either.
I don't want to be.
It's like a mall in the ocean. It's like a floating mall. And it's something very like, I guess I'll go say unnatural again. It's just unnatural. I don't want to be in a fucking floating mall in the middle of the ocean. Is that bad? I don't think it is.
That's bad.
And I think cruises are like, I don't know. It's just my nightmare. I guess I'm a little claustrophobic. I don't want to be stuck on a fucking boat and not have a way to get off. I don't know. I want to touch grass, as you say. I want to touch grass. I don't think there's no grass anymore. On the fucking I'm just kidding. Cruise.
Sydney, they don't even say that anymore. Okay. I'm just joking. No, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what anybody says, but so that was why I didn't get that job because I think it just became clear that like the benefits
that you didn't like cruises.
Yeah, it was gonna be hard for me to write compellingly about cruises when I myself am so not a fan of cruises.
No, I hate cruises, but I will write you whatever you want about a cruise and I'll pretend like I fucking like it.
Apply for this job if they're still
pretend like I love them. I'll be like, cruises are the best. Cruises are great. Do you want a hand job? You can get one on this cruise.
In Florida. Do you want to go be living in Florida though?
No, I absolutely. That's the deal breaker for me. Is living in Florida. But like I would, if I got, so I already have a plan. Like if I interviewed at a place and they were in Florida and they were expecting me to come into the office in Florida, I think at this point I would take the job and then tell them I would be moving in 2 months and then just work the job for 2 months and then say, I'm sorry, I can't move to Florida. I have to stay in Atlanta because I have a sick relative. And then I would see if they would let me work remote or if they would end our contract.
Wow. That's a good plan.
That's a good plan.
That's a solid plan.
Solid plan. Hey, I gotta get my shit together.
Why
to move.
You'd have to be there anyways. Also, Florida is nobody. I mean, it's a hard sell to move to Florida. It just is.
Nobody wants. I don't want to live in Florida.
My parents used to live in Florida, and now they live here again. So I mean, I liked visiting them, but they didn't live like I don't know. Florida's kind of. It's always summer. Even in the winter, it's summer. It's just weird. I don't know. There's a lot we could say about Florida, but we don't want to alienate any potential Floridian listeners out there.
If you like it, I love it.
Yeah.
If you like Florida, I love.
That's how I feel. If you like it, I love
it. You like it, I love it. It's not for me personally, but I'm not hating on Florida, except for the fact that the Florida Man headlines are crazy that all that stuff happens in Florida, and sometimes doesn't surprise. Florida's really big.
There's so big.
There's
it's
lots
like almost
of
as big as California.
Nooks. There's lots
People
of nooks in Florida. There's some really fucking messed up parts of California.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying that's how big Florida is. It's big.
Going back, circling back to I just thought of what we were going to name this podcast, and I think circling back was in there.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Circling back.
One of those corporate euphemisms. Is that even a euphemism? I don't know.
I think so. Circling back to earlier today. I can't wait to start saying things like circling back and no worries if not, and stuff like that. Yeah. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great Monday.
The ball's in your court.
The ball's in your. I don't think I ever said that one.
Oh.
Do you use that one a lot?
No. No, I don't.
Just waiting.
I don't know why that one just popped into my head.
The ball's in your court.
I guess that one's kind of passive aggressive, really. I wouldn't use that one, I guess.
Hope everyone had a great weekend. Weighing in on that was one. Anyway,
we gotta weigh in.
You gotta weigh in. Weighing in on
way off me.
Way off me. Yeah, like I guess salary transparency and like stuff like that, and how the range is. I know that if you look up copywriting on the internet, if you look up junior copywriter, it'll say like the range will be like $30,000 to $85,000. And if you say like senior copywriter, it'll be like $50,000 to $250,000. I was like, yeah. I'm like, there's no
standard.
There's no baseline of like salary for like each position. And the numbers are so all over the place that it's hard to like, if they don't tell you how much they want to pay for this position, like there's literally no way of knowing. You can just throw a dart at a board and be like, 80K, and they'll be like, oh, and say that, you know what I mean?
They'll be like, oh, that's it.
That's all. What do you mean? Oh, we were prepared to give up. Oh, sorry, we're doing 60K.
Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it's just another way they try to screw you over, and I think that, that Reddit, that subreddit about how they try to screw you over, it's like worse now more than ever because there's 100 applicants at a job that is paying under market value, way under market value an hour after it's posted. So like if you say $5,000 more than
you're just gonna get weeded
their
out.
Max, you're out of there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They have to have a way to quickly weed out. Anyways, probably.
Yeah. And sometimes they like, I did this with an application today where I didn't know how much, like I you look at the page and I think it said how much they were willing to pay on there. And then they take you to the application and then they ask you again what your salary. And I always try to, use the one that they, like the max number that they said. And I was like, I was lowballed. I was like 85K. And then I go back afterwards because you can't like look at the job description while you're in the application. And it said max 75. And I'm like, I'm out. This job is out for me.
Yeah.
So like, why are you asking me if you already put it in the description? It's just, anyway, I just wanted to rant more about that, I guess. I just wanted to rant more about another way that the industry tries to screw you over.
Oh, this is so interesting. I was just trying to remember something that happened whenever I had that horrible interview that kind of prompted us to even get started on this.
Yes.
I remember, so companies now are like required to post like the salary range a lot.
Yes, but like only in certain states, I think.
Yeah. But she was telling me, because I was like, I mentioned in our like first conversation with the recruiter, like, oh, I saw the range is, this or whatever. And she was like, yeah, like those aren't necessarily accurate. Like we have to post whatever. And like, those are for like whatever certain states, but it's not, they're different for different markets. So like, don't go off of that for your market. 'Cause Atlanta, I guess, isn't one of the ones where they have to.
So if you're working remote,
I know.
And you
it
tell them,
matter.
Right? Like, if I'm working remote and I told them I lived in LA, since the cost
get paid more?
Is higher, would you get paid more?
I guess.
That doesn't make, I don't know.
I guess.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah. But then I typed in pay range because I was trying to remember exactly what she said. And this person just said that a lot of the times they do the top of the posted salary range is what you could earn over time. So when you see those like really big ranges, like we were talking about, like you saw some range that was like 60 to like 180 or something, like something stupid.
It was.
Yeah. And it's like the top of the range they put, it could be what you could earn over time.
But why? I don't understand.
Like bonuses and, I guess if the company does, what's it called? Profit share.
But I don't understand like why they would put that in their hiring post.
I don't either.
Especially when they're trying to get especially when they're getting so many applications and they're trying to like weed out specific people that they don't need. If they're putting a range.
It's crazy that they're like, if you stay in this role for 5 years, you could earn up to this, like the top of this range.
That's so dumb.
So fucking dumb.
Oh my God, we're in hell.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, that's the salary situation. And I mean, like, yes, like normally there would be
bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch. And I think normally I would have different rules for negotiating salary, but in this market, I think it's totally different. It's the wild, wild west. And it's like, normally you don't show your car. Like, obviously, as you were saying, you never talk to recruiters because they're not your friends. But like,
they're not your friends.
You don't tell them any personal information about yourself. But like normally, I think there's a way to go about negotiating the salary that you want. But I just think every little fucking move that if you make the slightest move that's wrong, there's so many people looking for jobs. They're on to the next person that did everything right.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't think, I don't know. Anyway, on that really positive note.
Hey.
You know what? Keep your head up.
Joining us for another.
Keep your head up. It's still,
another episode of Linked Out.
Linked Out. And we are burnt out. This is Linked Out.
Linked Out.
And we are burnt the fuck out this week. And we are down and out.
And what are we in?
And we are out and about.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing right now. We're out and about, even though we are at your house.
Linked out and shut in.
And shut in. Tagline.
Yeah.
New tagline just dropped.
Cool.
Well, thanks for listening. And I'm sorry if this episode was kind of a downer. There is still hope out there. You do still have to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. And also, it does suck and you're not alone.
Yeah.
Not to sound too motivational speakery.
But you're not alone.
But you're not alone.
You're in good company.
You're in good company. And
you're
if you want to
in our
bitch,
company.
if you want to bitch, we're here for it.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please give us a 5-star review. Email us at linkedoutpod@gmail.com and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at linkedoutpod. Your support means everything, and we fucking love you. Mwah.
That was cute.
Bye, bestie.